Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raiders Coast to Coast. Let's start the show. What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome back for another episode of Raiders Coast to Coast. Myself and my main man,
LB rated 10. Yep. Always point the wrong way.
I always do. I need to do that beforehand so I can figure out before we start.
Yeah, there you go.
So we just played the new intro that this gentleman right here made.
Yes, sir.
I think it's pretty fucking hot. I love it. Just let us know how you felt in the chat. Post it in the comments. Appreciate any feedback on that. We're possibly going to have a surprise next Wednesday night for a new one for that one that was made. We're not going to reveal it until next Wednesday, though. Not going to show you or tell you nothing. You go wait.
It's dope. I'll tell you that. It is dope.
It is pretty fucking awesome. I'm fucking psyched with it. So, dude, we spent a lot of time on the air last weekend, you and I, from Thursday through the weekend. So we had some pretty lengthy shows, fun shows too. So,
yeah, I think we averaged like 5 hours a show during the scouting combine.
Yeah, and I think a couple of times we were up to like 6 or 7 hours, one or two of the days. So
yeah, for sure.
We put in
Saturday.
some work.
Oh
in
yeah,
4 days time.
Oh
that's
yeah.
why people were asking, you going live this week? Probably not till Wednesday with the Raider Connection. That's why I jumped on Sunday night with Gravy again, but I needed to take a little bit of a break and just relax, and I spent my time watching shows. So
that's always a good change of pace for sure.
Yeah. What did you? I know we really kind of brushed over it last night because it was just with Maxx hitting that news and everything yesterday. We kind of rushed through it yesterday, but I know you and I haven't had a chance to really talk. What was your take on the whole combine over the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of the offensive linemen. I wish I would have, and I haven't honestly done a ton of research on it. Like, I haven't watched it back either. So I still need to do that. But as far as what I seen, we talked about it yesterday. We were pretty unimpressed from the wide receivers. I was expecting a better showing, especially out of the 40 times. The 40 times, I was like, they were all on average rather low, and I was expecting a lot of speed coming out of this class. So that was kind of disappointing to me. But I was impressed with basically everything else that I seen. The quarterbacks did rather well. At least the quarterback that I liked did well, so that's good.
That was a bonus for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You walked away Saturday happy. Your guy did good.
Oh, for sure. Especially because we're all like, there was a ton of people watching at the same time. Everybody's like, yeah, he did the best today. He did the best. I was like, yeah, I know. But
even the Shador lovers in the chat with us and on the show were agreeing.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I felt pretty good about that. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of solidified that, and it showed what we've been saying this whole time, that there's a ton of talent in this draft. So I'm really excited about what the possibilities can, go, or like what we can do in this draft. So I'm ready for it, honestly.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on this Saturday. It wasn't. I expected a little bit more flash and pizzazz on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive backs, obviously, they were the fastest bunch out of anybody. Those guys were like grease lightning for the most part. I was happy with what I saw on the offensive lineman. I saw some really good footwork. And the ones I expected not to do so well or to be graded a little bit lower, I wasn't shocked. But like Zabel had a great day. Basically, if you watch any of the replays of the combine, just watch for the guys with the fucking the full mullets.
The mullets.
The guys with the full mullets all did well. I got your AI, I see it. Let me know when you're ready. So let's do this. We'll go back to the chat here. Just hit the chat up because, as we
Yep.
know, chat lives matter. So anybody that's new to this channel, make sure you hit up Nate's also. Hit that subscribe, hit the notifications, hit the thumbs up. We do have a guest coming in a few minutes here. So what's up, Mark?
What's up?
What's going on, brother? Yeah. Raider Ryan, what's up, man? This douchebag sitting next to me. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Panda? How you doing, man? How you doing?
What's up?
Run Raider, there's my guy.
What's up, man? Appreciate you coming on.
Let me get his up. Yeah, I want to throw his channel in the chat too. If you guys are into watching video games, like people playing games, you gotta check him out. It's Rum Raider Arcader. Arcader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the link up. You guys check his shit out, man. He's got a full blown arcade game system like you would see in the old arcades parlors or whatever. That he's turned into, like, I don't know what game system he uses on it or a computer or whatever, but it's an unbelievable system. Check that channel out. He was just on live a little while ago. I was in watching him.
Yeah, so was I.
Told Nate about it. Nate went and checked him out too. So it's a pretty cool setup he's got. A few weeks ago, I watched him for a few hours as he was installing a Logitech surround sound system in it. So it's a pretty badass setup.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tyler, what's up, Tyler? Sacktown Mike, what's going on, Sacktown? How you doing? What's up, Jeffrey? No problem, man. This gentleman helped me out. When I first started doing YouTube a couple of years ago, I was doing a totally different type YouTube channel. It was all about military models, and one day he was, him and I have been friends on Facebook for a long time. And he goes, he says, hey, you need an intro and outro. Now, granted, I was fairly new to YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he explained it to me. I'm like, okay. So he goes, hang on, I'll do something. So he sends it to me, and I'm like, damn, okay, yeah, I never would have been able to do that. I wouldn't even know how to start doing that. So I used that while I was in when I was doing that setup. Then I made the switch to Raider content. Why I didn't do that earlier, I don't know. But
now he just uses my intros.
Yeah, I steal from Nate now. All right, so we do have a guest. I'm going to bring him in now. Everybody knows our favorite Aussie, Afakasi. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, man?
What's going on, gang? What's going on?
Welcome to the show. I'll put you up top. I'll go to the bottom.
It kind of threw me off the way you said Aussie. It's like Aussie.
Yeah.
Aussie. I don't know. Probably said it wrong.
So good. How are we, gang?
What's up, Ben?
Good.
What's up?
Bento, chat.
Raph is in the house too.
What's up, Raph?
So, all right, Mr. Draft Guru. Don't worry, we're not going to do it.
If this is going to be a draft show, I was going to say.
No. I'm not.
It's all right. I'll take my hiatus when you do your mock draft.
I don't want to do any mock drafts until after free agency kind of settles down, and then we'll do that. I mean, it was for fun when we first started doing, because everybody was just kind of playing around with it and trying to be a backseat fucking GM, and I can do this. I can make 29 picks. So next time after free agency settles, we'll definitely start seriously getting into doing the mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make more sense.
Free agency changes everything. Free agency changes everything.
I mean, just in the last 2 days, it's changed the thought process on a lot of people on how things look to go forward from here. So getting into that, so we're going to start with this. Now, I was on with Nate last night in the Raider Connection. We did a lot of talking about this last night, but I haven't heard your take on this. So I'm going to bring the banner up here. It's about Maxx Crosby's restructure and how much the cap space increased from it. What's your overall feeling on extending Maxx Crosby and giving him his guaranteed money and giving him his binky and making him happy?
Well, look, this is a guy who, since he's been in the door, been the most consistent Raider that we've had, and one of the most consistent Raiders we've had since the turn of the millennium. Like, he is the face of our franchise. He did have a down year last year in terms of overall production, but yeah, like I'm happy. Well, keep him in the door, and hopefully he can get back to his rated best, like we're paying him to. And him and the likes of Wilkinson both cash in the checks that we're paying him, because we're using a lot of salary capital on those two. So nice to see that he's been kept in the door. And
I think you kind of went mute, brother.
Your mic went out. Can't hear you. Nate, that Nick guy's your channel. I can't get him.
This is not my channel.
Huh?
Not my
I guess
channel.
Afakasi. All right, we're gonna spread the Afakasi doesn't like Maxx Crosby, so that's why he muted his mic, 'cause he's talking bad about him right now.
mic check 1 2 1 2.
There we go.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. Look, long story short, it's nice to know that we're going to keep Maxx Crosby for the majority, what should be the majority of his prime. Like, from there, we'll see what happens, but well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy he's going to be here in a way. I mean, because you know what? I just want to see the max that we should have been getting for the last few years, which means I want to see, you know, the 12 plus sacks a season. You know, instead of just getting the pressures, I want them to become something other than just leading the league in the pressures. You know, granted, we didn't get a full season of him and Wilkins, so that may change things. That may get him to that point, especially with, you know, a full season of Chase on or whoever's going to be on the left side. So I'm okay with him being here still. I want to see the max that we deserve and what we're paying for, basically, too.
Right.
You know, I think Leo said it last night. People can finally go and confidently buy a Maxx jersey and not have to worry about him leaving anytime soon. He's pretty much going to be a Raider here till he's done. You know, because by the time his contract's over, he's going to be well into his 30s already. You know, so go buy those Crosby jerseys, everybody. Talk to Leo. Yep. Send him the business.
For real.
I mean, and the other thing too is the increase in the salary cap now too. So now we're up over 100 million now too. So with the restructuring, gives us more money to use for other free agents and re-signing the players that we want to keep.
Right.
Sorry. Just see, I know we're missing a few in the chat here that popped in. Viking Jerome, what's up, man? Yeah, you can keep Sam Donald. I don't want to spend any money on him. Wheezy, what's up?
What's up, Wheeze? We got to convert Wheezy to become a Raider fan, bro. For sure.
So Jeffrey said they said earlier on Raider Nation Radio that Maxx extension didn't really affect the cap for this year because his contract was already accounted for as just an extension. Yeah, but he restructured is the whole thing, so it changes his cap hit for this year. So it puts a few million, puts like $6 million back into the salary cap available for us. So it puts us at like 101 mil. So it gives us a little bit more. Let's see, who else is in here?
Panda's got a cool
dark
question.
Side. Huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say Panda's got a cool question, but at the end of it. But you go ahead.
Yeah. Maxx has not won a defensive player of the year that didn't deserve the contract. I'm not saying he didn't deserve the contract. I just would have liked to have, you know, I'm a firm believer if you sign a contract, you know what you're getting into with that contract. Don't sign a 5-year contract and by year 3, when your guaranteed money's out, come crying, I want to get paid. I want to get paid. You're still under 2 more years of that contract that you agreed to. Then you should have worked a different deal 3 years ago when you set that contract. That's where I have an issue more than anything. You honor your contract. You know, just like you can't go to your boss and say, you know, I've been here 3 years now. I want more money, or I'm just not going to do any more than what I'm doing. He's going to say, we'll see you later, you know, or you're just going to pay what you're going to work for what we offered you, and we'll address it in 2 years, you know. If that was the case, it'd be chaos out there. We need a second edge rusher. No to both. Definitely no to Bosa. Absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
no to both for sure.
No. What's up, y'all? What's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
Sam in the house. What's up, Sam? All right, Panda. Who's the main person you guys want to see us re-sign before Monday? Spillane, for
Yep,
sure. I want
that's
to solidify
exactly what
that
I was gonna say.
linebacker. You know, him and Maxx paired up. You know, him being a linebacker, him being the edge. I mean, that's your two main staples on that defense. I mean, do you guys feeling different?
My Spillane would be number one priority, but then after that, just at the top of my head, I do want to see. I want to see Morrig back in the door, but I also want to see Clavon Chason and or Kuntz, preferably, hopefully, but probably not both.
Yep.
Like,
I agree with.
We got to keep
Kason.
one of those guys.
Yeah, I agree with Kason. I would kind of want to hold off on Kuntz only because of if you could. You look at some of these other guys. Like if you really want to try and bring Mac back, I'd rather put the money towards him, or even Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati. Why don't you want him?
No, because he's gonna ask for so much. Well, first, Cincinnati's gonna ask for a ton of capital. Two, he's gonna handcuff us with the cap. We paid so much for Maxx already, and then we're gonna pay him, and then we're gonna have no more money essentially to access anywhere else. So we're gonna be paying those two guys on the other side of the ball. We're not gonna have. We'll have two sick edge rushers for sure, and then we'll have nobody else. So that's not what I want.
Just to address a comment in the chat real quickly on my side of the fence, Eddie, we just had two new minority owners in Tom Brady and Richard Seymour. So what are you talking about? Our biggest focus should be landing a new owner. Anyways, sorry.
Go on. You're right. Now, the only reason I'm saying hold off on Kuntz is because the amount of money he's gonna end up asking for is going to be equal to somebody that's a proven. You know, I mean, granted, I'm not saying Kuntz isn't proven, but he hasn't played in over a year. You know, so I mean, how is he going to come back from that knee, from the knee issue? Because that's not an easy one to get over, especially as a defensive edge rusher. You know, it's different if you're it'd still be the same no matter what position. The ACL injury is tough it's up here in your head, you know, how it affects you. And I only can say that because I've been there, done that, 2 surgeries, and it sucks. You know, it's always in the back of my head that one wrong move and I could easily go down. And I don't want that.
I know. I said I would like to see him back. Will we see him back? Probably not. He's probably going to go somewhere else to find his way back. I just wish it was. I wish and I hope it's with us that he can have a chance to find his way back to that form that he showed flashes of in 2023.
Yeah. I agree.
And all the noise in camp was he was showing very good / excellent leadership skills, like qualities. You know what I mean? And I want a chance to be able to see that. Plus, for other selfish reasons, I bought his jersey before the season started. So it'd be a damn shame if I don't get a chance to rock the jersey with him.
And that's what you're hearing a lot of people about Mac too. Just like Run Raider said, it's like I want to be able to bring those jerseys back.
I still have my Mac jersey, which I rock loudly and proudly. I mean, for me, he's done enough to be considered an all-time Raider great. You know what I mean? Sure. So, like, you for me, like if a player has done more good stuff than bad for the Raiders, and in Max's case, for me, he's one of the all-time Raider greats. Like I'm more than happy to rock his jersey. And when his career is going to be said and done, it's going to be a jersey that's going to be in the likes of Charles Woodson, Bo Jackson, and Lala Lozado. You know, those kind of jerseys, Tim Brown, where these players are long gone, but you can wear those jerseys once again.
I find when Mac was here, he was extremely consistent. He didn't really he didn't really drop off. You know what I mean? Like he stayed consistent while he was here. You could count on him every year.
Mac was. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, look, just real quickly, like for me, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Khalil Mack is 1A and 1B with Charles Woodson. It's the greatest defensive player we've had in the door in the last 25 plus years. In 4 seasons with us, he made the all-rookie team his first year. Then from year 2 to 4, he was a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro, the only All-Pro at 2 different positions, and a defensive MVP, something we haven't had. Can you name the last time we've had a defensive MVP? Or any other player we've had that actually won the award? So it would be nice to have Khalil Mack back in the door, but to me, it's a pipe dream.
What's up, Daniel Berry? Let's see, where are we at here? What do you think of the Titans? They're a football team from Tennessee. Next. Eddie says 5% doesn't mean anything. Yeah, he's 5%, but he's the big decision maker that's going on, because Mark Davis gave him that type of confidence and control to handle a lot of the football aspect of this, because Mark Davis doesn't know shit when it comes to football. He's admitted it himself.
Yeah.
It's not like we're all talking out our ass about it. He's come right out and said, I don't know football. So that's what we've dealt with for the last X amount of years, was him not knowing football, but making the decisions that impacted the team on the field. He's finally smartened up and listened. He had to have listened to somebody that told him, look, you need to put somebody in charge of that. That's part owner. And obviously Brady was a no-brainer, which is why he sold 5% of the team to Brady and his conglomerate there. So they can do just what they're doing right now. This is what we expected. If anybody expected anything different than what we're going through right now, I don't know what you were thinking, because I think this is going right along the way that it should be going, with Brady running the show.
Right.
Yep.
Good take.
I do it and just draft guys. We need Hendrick. We would have Hendrickson, Maxx, and Wilkins all under contract for the next 2 or 3 seasons. Curious what Cincy would want in return. Yeah, because if we do go for him, it's a trade. So it's not going to be just to the highest bidder, how much we're going to pay him. He's not a free agent.
That's the thing. We would have to trade for Hendrickson, and the fact that he's saying, like, let's just draft guys, we wouldn't have the draft picks to do that, to be able to build through the draft, because we'd be giving it up to get Hendrickson. So that's why I'm saying I really like Hendrickson. Obviously, he's a really good player. I would love to have him on the team, but it's just not a smart move, honestly.
Sorry, forgive my my ignorance, but who is Hendrickson?
He's a defensive end for Cincinnati Bengals. He had what was it, 14 sacks last year?
Okay. No, he had
ridiculous
17.
number. He's good. He's good. He's just that he's on
He led the league in sacks last year.
Yeah. You don't hear about him much because he's with Cincinnati. If he was in the AFC West, you'd hear about him all the time.
Right. Yeah. And for me, I know Raider football, but once upon a time, I used to watch a lot more football outside of Raider football. Last couple of seasons, if it's not Raider football, I don't really care.
Let's see. What's up, Chris? How you doing?
Yeah, and everybody
guys
putting that in their IG today, huh?
Well deserved.
Right?
Biggest morons on the YouTube scene. Next.
Sam the Man, what's up, man? He goes, am I alone in thinking that Maxx got too much?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, yeah, he got too much, but no, you're saying that he's alone.
Yeah, he's alone.
He got too much. I mean,
no, because if you think about it, we set the bar to what other people are going to have to reach. Maxx Crosby is the highest paid non-quarterback right now, but that's only going to be for a week. Micah Parsons is going to get his bag. Trey Hendrickson, whoever he goes, is going to get his bag. There's a ton of people that are up for, big time contracts. Jamar Chase is going to get his bag. He's probably going to be the one that's going to be holding that title of the highest paid non-quarterback for a while. But
right.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think in a way we were kind of smart to set the bar that high.
I was just thinking
because guess what? That's going to impact these other teams in their cap too.
Exactly.
So they're going to spend more money than they wanted to because they're going to have no choice. It's either that or if the player's a free agent, he's going to walk or he's going to hold out or he's just going to be a thorn in their side until they finally cave and pay the guy. So I think we kind of helped our own point in a way because it's going to force teams to either sign that person or let them go and go with lesser talent. So it's gonna flood the market. It's gonna fuck the market up too. So, and like you said, I'm glad we did it when we did, because if Parsons would have been the highest paid one, then guess what? We'd be in the same position as everybody else right now, going, "Fuck, how are we gonna pay for this?"
Everybody here on after is going to command more, all the same.
Yep. Exactly.
And I mean, in all honesty, they and some of them are better players than Maxx. I mean, you're not going to tell me Maxx is better than Micah Parsons or Garrett. You know,
he's better than Micah Parsons. He's better than Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is younger. That's it.
I don't think
he's better than Micah Parsons.
I think Parsons better.
No, the only person that's better
right
is
now,
Myles
Hendrickson's better than him. To be honest with you,
no, that's wrong.
You don't think Hendrickson's better than him?
Two people are better than Maxx Crosby at the defensive end spot, and that is Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. That's it. Maxx has had absolutely zero help his entire career. Every other person at the defensive end spot has had a way more help, whether it is on that front line or in the back end of their defense. Maxx has not had that kind of help. The only other person, even TJ Watt has had that help, but I still think TJ Watt is better. The only other person that has not had that kind of help and still produces is Myles Garrett. That's why
Myles Garrett hasn't had help before. That's why he wants out of there.
No, that's why exactly. That's why he's the one that is constantly defensive player of the year candidate, because he's the one that is the record that we are expecting Maxx to be. But there's really only one guy that is like that, and that's him, Myles Garrett.
Let's see.
You're muted again. Go ahead.
Let's see. So does it look like Swain is going to resign or leave? Has he?
My check 1-2-1-2.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
I haven't heard anything on Swain. Have you? It's been quiet.
No, I haven't heard anything yet.
We'll see what happens. I mean, free agency is still a couple more days away, so he's probably weighing up his options, which is smart. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he stays in the door. But just to your point, LV, that when you think about it, Maxx is the interior that Maxx has had to play with since he's been in the door has been pretty atrocious, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, do I need to go on a rant? Not really, but like to Chris's comment in the chat, he does like that's been the knock for me. If it is like a minute knock, that like he's not quite the closer and the finisher that Mac was in his rated prime. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's a whole level of excellence.
Your mic again. He's gonna snap. He's gonna fucking lose it.
Gym motivation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the United States just put tariffs on Australia for sound bites coming out of Australia. So nobody's microphone in Australia can work anymore unless they pay the high tariffs.
No, I can't hear you. Yeah.
All right. So he's going to figure it out. He'll come back. Yeah, Chris, I don't know if you were here at the very beginning and we talked about, how we felt about Maxx resigning and not resigning, but restructuring. And my thought was, it's like, if we paid him this extra money and restructuring his contract, I want to see the Maxx that we're expecting to see. I don't care if he leads the league in pressures. I want those pressures to turn into sacks. Just like you said, he needs to step it up. He needs to completely take over games like Mac did.
Mic check 1-2-1-2.
You're good. You're good. All right, so I guess Australia paid the tariff, so we're good now.
Right, we paid the tariff, but yeah, like to that comment there by Chris, like he at the end of the day he needs to play to the level of the checks that we're paying him, and the same with Christian Wilkins. I mean, Christian Wilkins is another guy we're paying highly on that interior, so yeah. And Maxx gets it. Like, I'm not like saying that Maxx underwhelms, because he plays at a level of excellence more often than not. But I would like to see more closing, finishing plays like the way Mac did in his Raider Prime.
See, Chris agrees with me too. I think Parsons.
He's not.
He's better than Micah. I'm telling you. He's a lot faster. He can disrupt a lot more. Because I take Parsons over him. And then you got Sam saying that Hendrickson is better than Parsons. I hope we let Diablo go. I don't think Diablo. Yeah. I don't see us re-signing him. What do you think, AR?
Look, Spillane is the first priority when it comes to that linebacker core, because I mean, if you let him walk and Diablo walk, I mean, all of a sudden we got nobody. But I'm sure, exactly. I am sure they are going to address that in free agency one way or another, because I don't want to go the season with these unproven linebackers that we have behind them and going the draft route and expecting them to be the, right from the rip, the answer to our linebacker questions, which are going to be very big if we don't address that properly in free agencies. Diablo, I think, can come back on a cheap, decent enough contract. You know what I mean? Like, we know what Diablo is. Like, at his best, he can be reliable, good enough. You know what I mean? But we need to get better at the linebacker position outside of Spillane. So if it means letting Diablo walk, then whatever. So be it.
So they said it must be local news then out Yo West, because I haven't seen anything out here on that.
Just wait and see with Spillane. Wait and see.
I don't know why everybody's so hype on Milrow. I don't think it did.
I'm not on Milrow.
Right, Nate? I mean, you and I watched Saturday's Combine. I didn't see anything that made me go, ooh, I want him. Oh, ooh, he looks good. Like, we should seriously consider that.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Yeah, Chris goes, I agree. I want strip sacks. Yeah, I want an impact.
Right.
Yeah, Sam saying he's coming back.
Spillane, aka T.U. Whitehead. That's a very harsh comparison, Raider Ben. I didn't know you were that low on Robert Spillane.
Wow.
So Ben ranks him too. He goes Watt, Garrett, Parsons, Bosa, Maxx / Hendrickson. Obviously, you're talking about the Bosa from the 49ers.
From Niners, yeah.
It ain't the other big nose bastard from the
Nick
Chargers
Bosa. Nick Bosa and Maxx Crosby are like the same player to me. And that's saying a lot, because I really like Nick Bosa a lot. But I think they're both better than Parsons. Garrett, Watt, Maxx, and Bosa, and then Parsons, Hendrickson.
But Chris just said it too. He goes, Parsons, and it's true. Parsons can line up anywhere. He can line up interior, outside. I mean, you're not going to get that with Maxx.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I
love having Maxx on the team because he's a disruptive
on the inside as he is on the outside.
Huh?
He's not as disruptive on the inside as he is on the outside.
But he still can line up anywhere, because no matter where he goes, you got to pay attention to where he is. You can't, if you don't see him on the outside, on the edges, you don't sit there and go, okay, whatever, snap the ball. Next, he comes flying in from another direction. You don't even know he was there. So, I mean, you have to respect when he's out there on that field, no matter where he lines up. Right?
I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a good player. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not doubting that. I'm not saying you're saying that. I guess we'll have to wait to see when the first whistle blows in the first game this year.
Yeah, I mean, it is really splitting hairs, to be honest. I mean, obviously Parsons is a great fucking player, but I just like Maxx more.
Sam the Man says Milrow with Chip Kelly.
Which of you have Maxx Crosby jerseys, if any?
I have.
Not
3.
me.
I have 3.
Rum Raider does.
Yeah, 3 Crosby jerseys.
I have a black one, a white one, a white what's it called? The Color Rush jersey, but I got that one signed, so I want to get another one, so I can wear.
Have I showed you the story about my Crosby jersey?
No.
Okay, so 2019, the year he was drafted, I came to the States And during my time in the States, I was there for 5 weeks. I was able to go to Oakland to fulfill a lifelong dream and go see my Raiders play what would be their last home victory in Oakland. They'd never win another game after this game. It was the game against the Bengals. And part of the experience was I got to go to the Raider Image, the one next to Wingstop, close to the stadium, like it's on the other side of the bridge. I don't know. I'm not sure the exact location, but like it wasn't too far from where I was staying in seminary. But anyways, I go into the Raider Image and like there's just Raider gear everywhere, like and all these jerseys up on the walls and that. And I was like a kid in a candy store, you know what I mean? At the time, I was rocking a Darren Waller jersey, but I saw all these jerseys on the wall, and there was one jersey in the corner, and it just so happened to be in my size, and that was Maxx Crosby. This is before he'd broken out, so like there wasn't like a whole bunch of them like there is now. There was just the one jersey, so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to buy that one. I got a good feeling about this guy. He would end up having 3-4 sacks in that game, and that would be his breakout game, and he would go on to be the Maxx Crosby that we know. So
dope.
I still have that jersey to this day.
That's so sick. I'm letting you pick all the jerseys for us from here on out.
Right.
That's dope, honestly. That's super fucking cool.
It is. And salute to Pete and everyone else on my
Sam the man says you're brave. He goes, Jesus Christ, you went to Oakland?
Yeah,
you're a Raiders fan going in Oakland. You got a free
not that
pass
bad, yeah.
over there.
And I was staying in seminary too, and I would later find out that like that's a very active area, if you know what I mean. But you know what? I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like I'm so it was a dream fulfilled for me, being the diehard passionate that I am. And like, look, we've made the move to Vegas, and Vegas is a beautiful area, a beautiful stadium. But the heart and soul for me, as it stands, is still Oakland. And to be able to go there, the mecca of the Raider Nation per se, it meant a lot to me. So yeah, glad I got to do it while I still could.
Yeah, it's dope.
I used to live in Oakland.
It's an experience I will never forget. Like I like take into consideration. I'm here in my lonely little bubble in Australia. Like I watch Raider games alone. I don't have anybody to commune about with in terms of Raider football. I went to the American bar down the road to watch the Super Bowl. There was 500-600 people there. I was the only guy wearing Raider colors. There was one other guy who wore a Raider cap, and he was a Patriot fan. You know what I'm saying? So to go from that, where I'm at, to going to Oakland, where there was just tens of thousands of passionate, diehard Raider brothers and sisters just like me, to walk across the bridge, past the barbed wire, through the tailgate, to walk through the halls of the Coliseum. And I've got this video still on my social media where I was like, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? You know what? F it. I'm going to do it. So I turned the camera on. I'm usually not like that, but I did. And I did a big Raiders chant, and the whole tunnel did it with me.
No shit.
And that's 10 seconds of my life that happened was one of the greatest things to ever happen in my life, and something I will cherish forever.
Must have given you chills. All those fans that weren't even Raiders fans responded. That's awesome, man.
Goosebumps.
That's awesome.
Brought a Raider tear to my eye.
I think sort of how like my first time going to a Raiders home game is going to be. I know I'm going to shed a tear. I mean, that's without a doubt. You know, being able to actually go to a home game, even though it's in Vegas, I still wish I could have gotten there when they were in Oakland. But you know, the first time I saw them play live was here in New England in '93, and I'm not going to lie, when I walked in to that shithole stadium, I stood there for a second and just kind of like took a deep breath, looked at all, you know, just soaked it all in, looking at the Raiders players down there warming up. And I was like, and I looked at my best friend, who him and I have been Raider fans since we were little kids, looked at him, and we both looked at each other, and I'm like, we're actually getting ready to watch a Raiders game. We'd never seen a live Raiders game before until that day. And we were 22 at that point, you know, 23. So I was like, it's just the greatest feeling when you get to see them play for the first time.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So you never got a chance to go to Oakland, and you haven't been to Vegas yet? Okay.
No.
What about LA?
Now,
LA.
Nate.
No, LA. have you been to LA?
LA? I've been to LA,
Raider
but
game?
not during the football season. That was back in '84. You're muted again,
Yeah.
bro. Do you know sign language? It doesn't matter because I don't know it either. So he's gonna fucking lose his shit.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
I think it's the cable for my microphone because I accidentally kind of pulled it with my chair when I was moving off of the moving away from the desk. But anyways, yeah, go ahead.
I've been to LA.
What did I ask you?
Yeah, have you been to LA?
Right. So how many Raider games have you been to all up?
Been to New York twice, the old stadium, the new stadium. Been to New England and Buffalo. So I've been to 4 Raiders games. Because they don't come around here that often. The last time they were here was 2020, and it was during COVID, so there were no fans. We couldn't even go.
Have you been to a Raider victory? Because more
saw
often
them win
than not,
the
when we
first-
travel over east, it's pretty rough sledding.
The first game I ever went to was the one in '92 and '93, and we won that one. Oh, we blew them out that day. That was Hostetler and shit. That was that
Who
era.
were we playing? The Jets?
It was the Patriots.
Oh, Patriots.
Here in New England, we were playing. I've seen them play the Giants twice. Both times we got destroyed. And then Buffalo. We were winning the Buffalo game all the way through. We lost it in the last 2 minutes.
Was that 2010, 11?
2009 for Buffalo. I think it was. I think it was 2009.
Was that the one with Jason Campbell and Daenerys Moore? I'm pretty sure that's 2011.
You know what?
It was a close game. We lost it.
If
you talk about the
game
game against the Bills where we lost a pretty tight contest, that was 2011.
I think that was it then. I think that was the game. If the New York ones was we lost 44-7, and that was Jamarcus Russell. The only touchdown we scored was right in front of me. And it was a horrible day. Misty, drizzly rain, plus the score just made for a miserable afternoon, and I just got caught out of my mind. It was horrible. But the goal now
to a what? Sorry, go ahead.
The goal now is to get out to Vegas to watch a game and sneak in a hockey game because I want to take my son, and he's a Vegas Golden Knights fan.
Marcus. Going to away games is two sides of the coin. Like, if your team wins, there's no greater feeling than being in hostile enemy territory, rocking your colors and talking your shit. Not too much, but you know what I'm saying. But then if you lose, it's the 180 opposites. It's absolutely miserable.
What's up, Randy? A Canadian Bronco fan here, Randy. He's on Chris Ferreira's chats all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Cincinnati this year, and oh my god, they were relentless after the game. Like, obviously, everybody was like super nice, but like they were just constantly like, "Oh, you guys lost," like, and then after that, they would like buy us beers, but still like talk shit. It's like, oh, right. I don't know how to react to this. Like, I'm used to like wanting to fight with fucking Charger fans after games and shit. So I'm like, oh, thank you, but like, fuck you at the same time. Like, I don't know. It was funny.
James, I want to get to Vegas, but I'm a couple of years away from being able to do that still. For two reasons. One, the whole health thing going on, and then just having the money to do it. I just can't afford to do it right now.
Right. It's an expensive venture, isn't it?
Going anywhere now is expensive regardless, but Vegas is well, I guess you can, from what I hear, you can get some pretty good fucking cheap deals.
Well, I got to also worry about airfares,
yeah,
and the exchange rate.
Yeah, you got yeah. For you it's a little different. What's up, James Firpo? What's up, brother? How you doing tonight, man?
One Australian dollar is, the last time I checked, is worth 60 US cents. So
wow,
that's also something I have to contend with. So there's a lot of uphill battles I'm going to have to fight, and I'm trying to work my way back to the States one day.
Well, you were doing that the other day on one of your shows. You were trying to calculate the conversion from a super chat because somebody asked you something. And you were
like, right. No, someone super chat is English pounds. So
yeah,
it was like 5 English pounds, which worked out to be, oh shit, I'll do it again because I forgot.
What's up, Marcus? How you doing, brother? Mo Valreda is in the house. What's up, man?
So it's worth 6 USD and 10 AUD.
Hey, Sacktown Mike, can you do me a favor? Can you post the links for the channels for Nate and Afakasi in here, please? I want to make sure we get as many people over. Anybody that's new here, go over to LV Raider 10's channel. Hit that subscribe, the notification, give the thumbs up. We got to get his subscriptions up a little bit higher here.
Yes, sir.
We gotta help a brother out.
Appreciate it.
Hyperlinks don't work in the live chat for vertical streams. So if you're struggling, no, like you can see them in the chat replay when the live is over. And salute to you, Navy Vet and Marcus. I see you in the building. And but yeah, they don't work. I tried having a look on a few live streams before. So
shit, I didn't know that.
If you can't, just on the replay they work. On the actual live show as we're going right now, they don't. So
makes sense.
Just type in LV Raider 10 for my guy right next to me. And then for me, you got my handle below. You just type that in. That's AFAKASI Raider. Not too hard.
Yeah, Nate's got his handle in too, the @LV10. I got mine in below, but Raider for Chris.
What up, Raider for Chris?
So I think we've kind of beat the Maxx Crosby thing to death here a little bit. So now we're really going to get into something special. Let's see what this one's all about. What do you feel about this one?
Oof.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Chat. Chime in.
Just another day of insert free agent quarterback name here is pendings or imminent signing or is rumored to be coming to the Raiders. I'm over it. Next.
Thank you. He said it the best that anybody could say. And now this guy right here wants Aaron Rodgers now. Can you believe that?
Out of all the takes I've heard people say about it, that I think was probably the best one yet. Because everybody gets into like this long drawn out reason why we don't need him or why we do. You just made that so short and sweet and precise that I got no rebuttal for it. It was perfect. Same thing happened yesterday. Joey Bosa got cut yesterday. And what's happening today? People are like, let's get Bosa on the team. People putting links out there that he's projected to come to the Raiders. You know, all these.
Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate that.
Every day it's a new day in terms of the clickbait, like rumorville on these Raider YouTube streets. For me, I keep saying it. I am not getting hung up on nobody until they are a Raider. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't entertain hypotheticals. That's why I don't. My channel's not about like the rumorville or like putting out these stupid shows with like these thumbnails with these red arrows saying signing imminent or whatever the hell it is. Like, nah, I don't care about these rumors. I don't care if they're not Raiders. I am not going to invest any of my time or any of my feelings on players that 99% of the time they're likely not going to be Raiders. So why? You know what I mean? If they sign the dotted line, yeah, sure. Like I'll give my opinions and thoughts on that. But until that happens, I don't give a shit. Next.
Ladies and gentlemen, Afakasi Raider. If you've never met him before, that's him in the Raw. I love it. I love it. I love it when you get like
great.
That.
That was great.
Just perfect. I just wish everybody would be like that. It'd be more fun. What's up, Watch Duo?
I am what I am. I give my opinions whether you like it or you don't. But
the only reason I would say yes to him is that whole if we're in a win sooner than later or a win now mode, and we get the other right pieces in, that's the only reason I would see it. Other than that, anybody else we bring in is going to be a project or could be good for us, could not be good for us type of thing. I don't know. I'm just tired of the whole we're bringing this guy in. This guy's going to come here. We're going to pay this guy. I just can't wait till Monday comes. We stop making decisions, stop bringing guys in, and then everybody can just shut up. And now everybody will just stop bitching about, oh, well, we got this guy and he's no good. Why did we spend the money on him? Because that starts a whole new fucking thing now, too. So that's going to start that. I didn't want him. I wanted this guy. How come we didn't go with this guy? So it's a never-ending carousel of bullshit is what it is. It's like the team picks somebody, they spend the money on them, shut up and just go along with it and see what happens. if we pick Shedeur Sanders, as much as I don't want him, guess what? I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and deal with it. Ain't nothing I can do that's gonna change anything. And why am I gonna get upset and pissed off over it? It is what it is. If he sucks, then I'm gonna have a field day telling people I fucking told you so. And I think 805 is in the chat. What's up, 805?
Yeah,
I know he's gonna fucking say it too because I know he's not a Shedeur Sanders fan. You know, and if he turns out to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback for us, blah blah blah, and everything else, and I'll be like, you know what? I was wrong. You guys were right. I concede. You win. You know, but God help you if he sucks and he's out of the league in 2 or 3 years, like a Jamarcus Russell. We're right back in that vicious cycle of we suck and we can't pick a fucking quarterback.
Who are you talking about, Jeff?
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
That's what everybody wants. That's what for the most part, that's who people want. And conveniently, he's dropping in the ranks. So where's he going to fall to? He's going to be there for us at number 6. 2 weeks ago, he was the number 2 guy to go. We'd have to trade up to get him. Now we could trade back in the first round and still probably fucking get him.
I said this not too long ago. I said this not too long ago on a different show. I don't remember which one. I think I was on Rundown. But like when it comes to players,
Marcus.
just in general, I even if like I don't want them, if they become a Raider, I'm going to be one of their biggest supporters because I want the Raiders to succeed.
Yes, he did.
Right.
So like even like you're saying Shedeur Sanders, I brought it up with the Shedeur Sanders. Like even if he becomes a Raider, like I'm gonna want him to succeed because I want the Raiders to succeed. And the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Like I don't want him to come because I don't think that's the right choice. But if he comes, I'm gonna be an Aaron Rodgers fan, like for sure, because I want them to succeed. But I just want the Raiders to make smart choices and smart decisions. That I mean, obviously everyone has different views on what those choices are. But to me, bringing in Aaron Rodgers is not a smart choice. Bringing in Shedeur Sanders is not a smart choice. So I just want them to make like not Raider decisions that have been the Raider decisions the past couple of years.
What about Aaron Rodgers and then we draft your boy Dart? You okay with that?
No, because he's gonna corrupt him. He's gonna make him do fucking ashwagandha in a fucking
but Tom Brady's there. He can.
He's gonna make him do what? What did you say?
Ashwagandha.
What the hell is that?
What the fuck is that?
It's
Ooh,
like
what? Where?
It's like DMT. Have you heard of DMT? Like a drug. Ayahuasca. Ashwagandha.
Was it? What are you talking about, dude? He's just making up words.
It's like
what it sounds like, right?
It's a drug.
You stroking out over there, coming up with words? What the fuck? I see everybody in the chat talking about DK Metcalf. That's coming up. We are going to address that for sure. Marcus, thank you. He said that he subscribed to yours, LV, and he is subscribed to my channel.
Appreciate you, man.
That 805 Real Talk. He says, AR, can you be more honest with the audience? You didn't seem serious enough on your feelings.
Hey, I got a hot take. Zamir White is going to be the greatest running back in Raider history, and we're going to erect a stadium in his honor. Pause. And while we're at it, we're going to transition him over to fullback. Yes, we're going to do that too. So he's going to be he's going to be like Khalil Mack, a dual all-pro at 2 positions.
So he's multifaceted.
There you go.
He's multi-dimensional. Right?
Yep, there you go. Same thing.
If he can make cuts, there's a chance. If he learns how to make cuts, there's a chance.
Right. So you're saying there's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Rum Raider. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Make sure you guys get over to Afakasi's channel too. You may have to pass through customs to get the subscription set up on his because he's Australian. But we love our Australian brother, man. You know what? I have more fun sometimes when you come on because I love it sometimes when you get those hot takes like you just did a few moments ago where you just get heated. Because
that's great.
No, you know what? I'm being serious because it's his true passion that comes out about the team. You don't see people that are like that. You know, most people will laugh and joke and everything. But you can tell it's real with Afakasi, and I appreciate that with him.
Definitely.
You know, he's a different person when he's playing Tecmo Bowl, though, especially when he's losing.
Our Patriot brother off of Cosby. Did you see it? Did you see that?
On normal podcasts or chats like this? Wait till you watch him play against Critique, and Critique just obliterates him. You want to talk about getting upset? And the chat thinks it's hilarious. It's funny to watch. No, I don't know how many desks do you go through in a year? Because I can't imagine you're not breaking the desk at least once.
Well, I'm actually punching my arcade stick. This one here. There's like this little spot here that is actually really sturdy. Thank Christ, and I invested quite heavily in it back in 2019. So it's been worth the investment.
That long. That's amazing.
How much I've been punching friggin' this part right here because I've been losing, and you can see that. Shout out to Black Sunday sticker right there. I got that when I purchased from them back in 2019. But anyways, look, I can only be me. You know what I mean? And I'm passionate about my views when it comes to Raider football, whether they're right or wrong. Like I don't get them right all the time. I'm just a fan who shoots his mouth sometimes, and if I get it right, I get it right. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. Like the other thing is this, like, if you're gonna do this YouTube game, like you got to bring something to the table. And I'd like to think that like maybe what I bring is like I don't go too far left or too far right. I try to give my opinions with some reason, and I'm very passionate with my views. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that if that brings entertainment value, then cool. You know what I'm saying? But you can only be you, right?
There's two people that I follow on YouTube that get heated and passionate, and that's yourself, and the other one is Raider Ben, because I've seen Raider Ben go off like that. Not to people in the chat. I'm talking about the actual team. You can see that, and that's just the way some people are. They get passionate in that manner about their team. When I start to talk passionate, and Nate's seen this when we've been on the Raider Connection, and before Christmas when Leo came out with the letters to Santa, and then I did my thing on my take on it. I mean, that was from the heart what I said that day, and the way I approached it. I mean, I've been a fan for longer than some people in this chat have even been alive. I've been a fan since the mid '70s, so. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've seen us win, and I've seen us hit these low points that we're in right now, which is like this past season. I think is one of the worst I've ever witnessed, and this is one of the craziest off seasons I've witnessed so far as a Raiders fan, with everything that's going on. Because don't forget, all that time that I was a Raiders fan, Al Davis was the man. He was the only one that made any decisions or had anything to do with the team. We're in a whole different era now, so. Since he's passed, this team has been different, so it's the team is going through a phase right now, and it's going to be a phase hopefully going forward for the good. And people that have doubts about being a Raider, you just got to hang on now at this point. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming. It's a long tunnel right now, but you can still see a little pinhole in the future that it's going to get better. Mark, trust me, it's going to get better. It's just going to take a little bit.
To that point, Jeff, like you're right. Like for me, these last 3 years have been rough, and like even the rough seasons that I've been a part of since my time as a Raider fan started in 2009. Because it wasn't my first rodeo last season. I was losing more often than not. You know what I mean? Like it's been for the most part a struggle since I've been a fan. I've been through seasons where we've struggled to win 3 games, 4 games, whatever it may be. But even in those seasons, even in that struggle period between like 2012, 2014, I can still look back at and have some fond memories like with nostalgia and that. The last 3 years, the 2 under the McDaniels watch and the 1 under the Antonio Pierce watch, I honestly don't think I'm going to have that same sense of nostalgia. Like it's been a very like except for like, the whole YouTube thing, like getting to community with you guys, because that's been like what I've been doing for the last 3 years. But outside of that, like 10 years from now, I'm not going to look back at this period with any fondness at all. Like the way I do, even in those dark days, like I can still look back and have some nostalgic moments. Like, to that, like you're right. Like at least it seems like we're taking a new direction, and there's hopefully some light at the end of the tunnel. Like there's a beacon of hope. Like it doesn't have to happen straight away. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting immediate results. You know what I'm saying? And I think if as a Raider fan, if you're expecting like year one, oh, we got this new coaching regime, we got Tom Brady at the helm, we're going to go to the playoffs and we're going to go in the Super Bowl. Like, if that happens, I'm going to be happier than anybody. But like, just be patient. It could take a year, it could take 2 years, it might even take a little bit longer than that. Like, as long as I see progress, I'm going to be happy with that rather than expect immediate results, which I think is a little bit unfair.
I completely agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate, you're number one. You're a young kid. I'm calling you a kid. I mean, especially younger than my son. I'm telling you, sometimes it's like doing a show with my son, watching, being on here with Nate, and I love it because I think the two of us, we interact perfect with each other. You're young, so you've never really got to experience a true, upside to the Raiders. What's your overall take on what you've seen since you've been a Raiders fan to now?
And can I add to that? When did you become a Raider fan?
I was born into it. I came out the womb wearing a Raider jersey on.
What year? I mean, what year?
Yeah. I really started watching probably 2012. That was my 8th grade year when I really started getting into like sports in general. Like, I played tackle football since I was 7 years old, so I knew, football just in general, and I loved football. But like,
I was 42 already at that point.
That was a rough season to start as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Last season, we were in salary cap hell, and we had no draft capital either.
Yeah, exactly. So it was tough all around. But there's always those glimmer of hope. Like 2016, 2020 wasn't a bad year. 2021, obviously, we went to the playoffs. So like, I like just love watching football, and the Raiders are always going to be my team. And I've defended them my entire life, and I'm going to continue to. And then just winning, when the Raiders do become winners, it's going to be that more satisfying. It's going to be that more because he stuck it out. And I'm an extremely loyal person, sometimes to a fault. Like, I'm a fucking Angel fan. If you know anything about baseball, we've been the worst team since we won the World Series in 2002. So
trust me, Leo and Jay bust his balls about it, and so does everybody else that gets on the shows with us. So we go on their shows because they're all Dodgers fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for Jack. So, Jack's a San Francisco Giants fan.
Yeah. But yeah, so I apparently just like pain. So I'm gonna stick it out, and like I said, as soon as all of my teams become winners, that it's going to be that much more satisfying to me. And that's what I want. I don't want to be on a bandwagon. I don't want to be, known as a fucking, hop to this team, to that team. I don't want to be that. I'm going to stick it out, and that's what I want. So, yep.
Right on. I respect that. Like, you're like me. Like, we came up through the trenches. Like, struggle is for the most part all we've known. Like, there's no such thing as bandwagon fair weatherness when our success has been relegated to 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's it. Salute, John.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you remember your first Do you remember your first Raider game that you were able to watch?
What's up, John?
Like on the TV or just like
whatever?
That's a great one.
First one that comes to mind.
The first one that comes to mind, the one immediately comes to mind. Obviously, I don't think it's like. Oh man, it has to be like when I first started watching, it had to be the Terrell Pryor game against the Steelers.
Okay, that was 2013.
Yeah, that was the first one. I think that I was like a huge Terrell Pryor fan at the time, obviously, because that was like one of he was ahead of his time, obviously. And then from there, I kind of started getting way more into the Raiders because at first I was just like watching it because like I said, my dad is a Raider fan, so just watching it here and there, like whatever. But and then I became a Terrell Pryor fan, a Daenerys Moore fan, and then the list could go on. And then Carson Palmer, I'm a huge USC fan, so Carson Palmer coming over to the Raiders was huge for me. But yeah, so
Rod Streeter.
Rod Streeter, yeah.
I still have my Terrell Pryor jersey in my closet. It's actually when he first came to us, he was number 6. So I didn't get it when he changed his number to number 2 when he started some games for us. Like I got mad love for Terrell Pryor. Like he was never the long-term answer, and there was a lot wrong with like his overall play, but at the same time, the guy was like a car accident or a train wreck. Like you just can't, you can't take your eyes off. Yeah, you couldn't look away. Like for me, he was box office. Like he was always entertaining. Like he would either make some crazy, ridiculous plays, and then he would make like some, oh my god, what the hell were you doing? Kind of plays.
Exactly.
But it was never a dull moment with Terrell Pryor, and I will always appreciate him for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so we're going to move on to the next topic. I know people were asking this in the chat earlier, and I wanted to wait until we got past the Aaron Rodgers thing. So next one up. DK Metcalf, trade rumors explode. Should the Raiders go all in on the Seahawks superstar? So we're looking for a number 1 wide receiver, right? That's been our goal this offseason, was we got to get a number 1. Jacoby Myers is great. He's not a true number 1. He needs somebody to play opposite of him, and he'll be even better. And he had a great year. He really did last year. He was forced into playing the number 1 role last year because we got rid of DA, and it was him and Brock Bowers were the main 2 focal points. So what I saw today now, what Seattle's looking for is possibly a first and either a second or a third.
First and a third.
First and a third. I knew I saw something about that, but a first and a third. We'll go with what you just said. So what do you think? Do we go all in for it? Chat, say what you say. I wanted to see what you guys put down. Hey, I will start with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Not for that asking price. No.
Thank you.
What would you counter with?
Here's a third. Take it or leave it.
I agree.
Thank you.
We got to spend.
What if we threw? I know Jack's gonna fucking love this one. What if we threw Michael Mayer into that?
Yeah, sure. Throw in all pro, the greatest running back of all time, Zamir White.
I mean, I'll give them Andre James too, and fucking Parham. They can take the whole lot of them.
And a bag of chips while we're at it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we'll give them the 3rd round pick, Michael Mayer. We'll give him Andre James, Zamir, and Parham.
Shit, we'll gift wrap Tyree Wilson while we're at it.
Hold on now. Hold on now.
Hey, what's your take?
Yeah, DK Metcalf, they're not going to get nowhere near a first and a third.
I don't think so either.
They can probably leverage it for a desperate team to get a second if that's their asking price, kind of meet them in the middle. But I think that is way too rich for any team's blood right now, to be honest. Especially coming from a team, the Raiders are wide receiver 1 needy right now as well. And even if we're saying like, nah, that's too much, like there's no way that they're going to get that return. But to me, I think they're going to get a third for sure. And I would for sure do a third immediately. Give them that third that we got for Devontae. Bro, we basically traded Devontae for DK Metcalf. And I mean, it's
like anything with negotiating. Like of course, the asking price is going to be as high as they're going to ask for, which is what they asked for, a first and a third.
It's just like when you make a budget that has to get approved. You aim high, and then it always gets knocked down, and then you always end up with what you really wanted in the first place.
Right. So that's why I said like just offer him a third, take it or leave it.
So all right, so let's go.
And I kind of agree right here with David. DK is good, and he's not great.
No, I'm getting to that. I'm going to go through the chat.
Yeah.
So Rummator says, I wanted DK when he was in the draft. John Leone says, no on DK. They're asking too much. Jack says third.
Yep.
Then he says, fuck no on Myers. Mayer. And a couple of and throw a couple of car fans into the trade too. What's up, Nutty Nate? What's up, man?
What's up, man?
What's up, David? He goes, he's good, not great.
Agreed.
Well, here's the other thing too. Now because you look at the free agent wide receivers out there. I mean, it's not as none of the this whole free agent market this year is just kind of
It's not great, yeah.
It's not good. Not good at all. Like Devontae Adams just got let go by the Jets, and he automatically moved up to the best free agent wide receiver, to be honest with you, just by talent alone.
Yeah.
With then you throw in Mari Cooper's in that mix. Stephon Diggs. I'm not big on Diggs. Who's the other one? There's another one too. Lockett's going to be available because they're going to cut him. I mean, that's the other option. Instead of going
Godwin.
and making a trade for DK, do we bring Lockett in as the free agent?
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot as well.
Because during the combine this weekend, when Rundown was on with Nate and I and a few others, when we were watching the Saturday's combine, which was the quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, Rundown made the comment that our number one wide receiver is not in this draft. We initially thought it was that we could pull a number one out of this, but based on what we saw, he's like, we're not getting a number one wide receiver out of this draft this year.
Take terror. I'm right.
And then when you look at the free agent list, you're like, oof, I mean, you want that true number one, we may have to trade for it. Unfortunately, we may have no choice. Oh, Godwin, that's the other wide receiver.
Godwin, yeah.
But see, I don't see Godwin as the number one. I don't.
I mean, he led the league in receptions and yards prior to getting hurt.
I see, but in Tampa, I see Evans as the number one, not Godwin. Godwin's kind of more of your possession receiver. Evans is your main threat on that.
That's the same argument I can make with Lockett, though.
Well, exactly, but that's what I'm saying, though. But the thing with Lockett is he's younger. He's not injury prone like Godwin. Stephon Diggs.
How old is Lockett? He's been in the league for 30 years.
No, he hasn't been in that long.
Well, obviously not. That's an exaggeration, but not Ricardo Lockett. What?
Pig says Dante Thornton Jr. DTG. That's the guy you talked about before. Runs a 4.3, probably a late pick. I'd rather gamble on a couple of draft pass catches. Some of the tight ends probably deserve a look too. Well, we're going to have to look at a tight end because if we trade away Michael Mayer, we're going to have to.
Is he a Mike Mitchell type pigs? He'll get the reference. I know it went over your head, but he'll get it.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for a good show. I appreciate the shout out back at the. Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for stopping in, and I'll send you the links every now and then when we go on.
Chris Godwin is 29. Tyler Lockett is 32.
Is he really? Lockett's 32?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Why did I think he's the other way around? Wow, what's up, Puds? I heard that too about Brady working with AOC. That we talked about that today in the Raider Connection chat.
Yeah, we did.
Well, of course, he's going to work with any quarterback that's in our door.
The only quarterback they got in house right now. So,
thank you.
Right.
I see people tripping out about it, like, "Oh, is he going to be our number one quarterback?" Like, dude, he's our quarterback right now. That's what we got. Like,
right now, technically, he is our number one.
Yeah, exactly.
If the season would have started today, he'd be the starting quarterback. We'd have no choice.
We got no one else.
So exactly.
No one else.
I put in there in the chat when someone had sent it. I was like, he's our break in case of emergency kind of quarterback. Like, I'm glad I want him to progress still because if we need him, I want him to be good still. Like, he's supposed to regress just because he's not going to be the number one quarterback. Like, no.
See, I wish I had a sound machine right now or a sound bar because I just said it. He goes, I haven't given up on AOC, to be honest. I haven't either. I still think he's got the potential to do it. But everybody just shuts that right down. Like I just walked into a dead end. It's like, oh no, you can't. He's going to horrible. What gets me is they say, like, oh, he's not mobile. But then you look at some of the quarterbacks that everybody's thinking about bringing in, and they're just as mobile as he is. So what's the difference? I don't get it.
My opinion's on.
You rather go with a 40-something-year-old quarterback versus a kid that's still in his 30s. Your mic's working. I heard you. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay, go. I didn't want to cut you off. My bad.
He's not even 30 yet either.
Father for life. Yes. Team Ramrod.
My feelings on AOC is based on like just how I feel in my gut and from the sample size that I've seen from him. Like I just feel like, look, he is what he is. He's good enough to start. He's proven that he's good enough to make some throws and he's good enough to win some games. My gut tells me like his ceiling isn't like what could be if we brought someone through the door via the draft. That's how I feel about him. Like do I feel like we should part ways with him? No, but do I feel like he's the future for our franchise? No. That's until proven otherwise.
Yep.
But we'll see.
Well,
again, to your point, Nathan, like I'm gonna root for anybody who's in the doors for their success. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I'm not gonna root for their demise. You know what I mean? Like for example, when we hired Josh McDaniels, like I never wanted that guy. In my early Raider years, I remember all the stuff that went on with the Broncos and how it ended there. And I went on record many times throughout that course of that offseason when we were thinking about when we were doing live shows about, oh, who are we going to bring in the door? Who's going to be our head coach, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hell no on Josh McDaniels. We hired him. And like, just because I was so low on him, like I still was willing to give him a chance. Like, I'm going to root for this guy because if he's winning, we're winning. I'm happy. So, yeah.
I had to convince myself of Josh McDaniels when he got hired too. I was like, he's a great offensive mind.
I had to convince myself too.
Somebody could have bribed me $1 million, and I still never would have said that he's good. I didn't have.
I hated the guy more and more as time went on with McDaniels, and like it's one of those things that like my fears were warranted, and I never want to be right about these things that are detrimental to my Raiders. You know what I mean? Like it brings.
Especially
I'm not one of these cats that likes to get on a YouTube live or go on
Instagram
social media and be like, "Oh, see, I told you so. See, don't I know my shit or not?" Like this Dustin Death Star report, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Anyways,
talking shit.
That's not me. Like it brings me no joy to be right or correct about like things that just don't work out for the Raiders' benefit.
See, what blew it for me with McDumdum was that press conference they had with him, Ziegler, and Mark Davis. That just looked so uncomfortable and so forced. It didn't even look like I can't even explain how that affected me watching them up there and try and do the fake, the Raider thing, the Raider way, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, get the fuck out of here. You shouldn't have even been hired in the first place. But I do have to say this to you. If you're ever in a show with Leo or Jay, don't tell them that you just have this gut feeling about it. Don't say anything about the feelings in your gut, because I say that about Shador, and they both ride my ass over it. Well, he can't say anything else other than it's a gut feeling that he doesn't.
If it's your only argument,
something that's not good about him. I just have this. When you get a sixth sense about something that's not going to be good, that's the feeling I got.
I've shared the panel with Cheeto. Shout out to Cheeto many a time.
Yeah, but you haven't. If you say that to them, or you say that if somebody asks you, what do you think about AOC, and you're like, well, in my gut, I have this feeling. If you say that, they'll be all over it. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I was gonna say.
I'm sharing a panel and I'm doing it.
And if they don't, I am gonna. And if it's on Leo's show, I'm gonna jump in because I will come right in because I can get into his shows. I will jump
I appreciate it, but like I can fight my own battles.
No, because I'm gonna be pissed because they didn't say shit to you, but they come after me for it. That's why I'm gonna jump in.
Maybe that's why you gotta be a little bit passionate, a bit heated, show some fire and gut in your belly the way I do sometimes.
Hey, I'm 2 for 2 now. I'm getting fucking benched on fucking Mitch Rant's show. So,
oh god,
I got flagged yesterday again too. It put me in timeout.
On where?
On Mitchell Rant's the the sports
Chat
show.
Sports.
Whatever
Mitch Rant's. Yeah, I know Chat Sports. Yeah, I know
that fucking show. I wasn't even going after him. I was going after that Chug Nuts there. That fucking guy's a fucking Texans fan, and he's doing the on-screen stuff in the background. Somebody will be like, what's Chugs think about this quarterback for the Raiders? The fuck does he care? He's a fucking Texans fan. Why are you asking him? And I said that. Someone else said it in the chat, and then I repeated. I said, well, yeah, let's ask the Texans fan what he thinks about the quarterback situation for the Raiders. I don't give a fuck what he thinks. He's a fucking Texas fan. Get the fuck out of here. That pissed me off. I said that, and then they put me in timeout. I'm like, what the fuck? Assholes.
See, bring that same energy next time you get caught out by Cheeto.
So, and I read this when 805 put this up. I didn't even really consider this. I thought I've heard this before too. Might have even been him that said it. Bowers can be considered on number one. Jacoby is our possession receiver. True. We can go with a true 50-50 ball wide receiver in the draft or cheap and free agent. Savion Williams and Will Shepard will be that type in the draft. That makes
Trey
sense.
Tucker's not that 50-50 ball wide receiver. He's not.
No, he's not.
He's good at what he does in spots, but that's not what he's good at. He struggles at the 50-50 ball.
He's
And that's putting him
50-50 in height.
very
He's a
mildly.
little fucking midget. That's the other problem.
If he gets separation with his speed, he's good. You know what I mean? And he's good with the ball in hands, and he can make some catches. But like that was something that I noticed very, very quickly last season. He lost just about every contested catch, like, and it wasn't even close. Like a lot of the times, it was getting like intercepted in there. You know what I mean? So yeah, he struggles.
You know what? The funny thing is that all the Raider players wanted AOC to be their starter last season. I believe it.
I believe that too.
I don't think anybody wanted Minshew.
Right. Well, last season's last season.
We're moving on now at this point. I mean,
you can only complain about it.
I was not excited about the quarterback situation from the start of preseason all the way to the end, and it proved to be warranted. But this season's going to be different because we've got AOC, and I don't doubt they're going to bring more bodies in the door, whether it be via the free agency and or the draft. You know what I'm saying? I want us to draft a guy. I don't care where I don't care whoever it is going to be my guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, like
I look
forward to the QB situation again rather than last season. Like I just
he was in the chat and Mitch Rant's show the other day. He was there. He saw the whole thing. It was fucking funny. I get so mad at that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? See, I like Jack Beck for that 50-50 role with him. It's more of a 70-30 anyway. What's up, Everett? How you doing,
Jack Besh is a fucking beast, dude. I really like Jack Besh. I don't know if he's that tall, though, to be like a considered a 50-50 ball kind of guy.
Next Tuesday we'll get on the state of the nation and just start spamming that while Rundown and Leo are on live.
You know, when I see EC Everett's name, salute to him, I always think of Jim Everett and the Chris Everett thing.
Jim Rome. You fucking smacked him around for that one too. I remember.
Good on him. It's about time.
Don't call me Chris. Don't call me Chris. Yeah. That's what made Jim Rome. To be honest,
don't insult a man to his face. Period.
Yeah.
And if you and then if you're gonna cry foul when he takes it personal and slaps you around a little bit, then you're a bitch.
Yeah, Raider Ryan. If you go to his YouTube channel, or Instagram, there's pictures of him wearing Raiders jerseys at Allegiant with Mitch Rand standing in front of the stadium. It's like, you're fucking posing. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, everything on his channel is all Texans fan shit. You're a fucking poser. Go fuck your face.
Hey, Tim, we don't want your bum ass comments in this chat feed. How about that? Here's a middle finger for you. Get up out of here, bitch.
Let's see. All right, so we'll go on to the next banner then.
Yep.
Somewhat talked about it, I guess you could say. But draft stock watch. Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders rising and falling of the stock. What I mean by that is Jackson Dart made some moves, probably increased his draft stock based on how he performed at the combine. Shedeur is dropping mainly because of the word of what he said at some of these interviews with some of these teams and the fact that he didn't participate in the combine like Dart did. And a lot of the pictures they show of him at the combine was him sitting there laying down with his head on a backpack or just walking around aimlessly doing nothing. He was there. He was there for like the interview process. I'm sure he probably got measured for his height, his weight, his arms, and all that crap that they do. So what's everybody's feeling in the chat? Whether you think Jackson Dart's stock is rising, is he staying the same, or is Shedeur falling, rising? Nate, we'll start with you on this one because you're such a big Jackson Dart guy.
Yeah, we all kind of said it like you said earlier. Jackson Dart definitely had the best day at the combine quarterback wise by far. I honestly don't even think he was that close. And now people are starting to say, I'm not saying this. People are starting to say maybe we should think about taking him at 6. especially if the two quarterbacks ahead of them are gone already. So I can see it considering on how Michael Penix was taken so early last year's draft, and no one expected him to go that high. Everyone was saying to get him at where we were at what was it 13, and he got taken. So if we are super in love with getting our future quarterback, and even if it is we do have to do that reach and we have to get Dart, if we are in love with getting that quarterback in the first round, having that 5th-year option, I think we have to think about it at the very least, because as Pig said right here, Steelers might target Dart, and I think a lot of people actually have their eyes on Dart. Like I hate to say it, but the Rams have their eyes on Dart, and the Jets, who are at 7 right behind us, have their eyes on Dart. So it's going to be very interesting to see
separated 7
where these free agent quarterbacks go, to see who takes themselves out of the quarterback situation. And I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I still on the boat that I don't think we should take him as high as 6, because there's better players going to be at that spot. But I don't know. He might be gone by the time we decide to try to trade up to go get him in the bottom of the 1st or whatever.
Draft Guru, what do you think?
Look, I like the small sample size what I've seen from Jackson Dart, and I like the things that I've heard about him as well. Would it be overreaching for him at 6? Seems to be what many believe, but I've made the point in that, if the Raiders believe that he is the guy that can take us to heights and be the leader that we're looking for at the most important position in football, then it's never too early to take that guy at the quarterback position. But we'll see. As for Shedeur, I heard that too, that he was deliberately tanking his draft stock with certain teams, he didn't interview well. And from what correct me if I'm mistaken, but didn't his father do that back once upon a time? Back in the
he pretty much told teams, don't draft me.
Right. So
one of the famous ones from Dion was, I think it was the Giants. They put a big ass book down in front of him, and he said, "What's this?" And they said, "It's a book of questions that we ask all potential players that we're going to draft." And he asked me, he goes, "What pick do you have again?" They're like number 10. He goes, "I'm not filling this out because I'm not going to make it to 10." And he walked away. That's a story. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's one of those myths out there on Dion that you hear.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you hear a lot of stories about how his attitude was and everything. So, yeah, that's
at the end of the day, Deion Sanders is an all-time great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You're not there. I mean, granted, at the time that Dion did it, he wasn't either at that point, but I mean, he was the best coming out of college.
He had more production coming out of college than Shedeur did, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
night and day.
If Shedeur can be even half the player, even though it's a different position, but you get what I'm saying. If he can be half the player that his father was, then that would still be a win. You know what I mean?
He'd be successful for sure. Yeah,
he could still be successful. And once again, if he comes through the door, I'm going to root for the guy's success. Yep. And I again, my gut tells with Shedeur tells me it's going to be one or the other with the guy. He's either going to be a baller, a superstar, and the guy we've been looking for that's going to take us to the heights that we haven't seen for a long time, or at least do his part with his quarterback play, or he's going to flame out in epic proportions. To me, I agree. It's going to be no one or the other. There's no middle ground with Shedeur. High boom, I agree
100%. And that's why I feel the same way I do on Shedeur. Like you just said, it's either he's going to be a superstar or he's going to be the next coming of Jamarcus Russell. He's just not going to. He's not going to amount to shit. I mean, he's going to be out of the league in no time. Right. Now, you that's the other thing too. People got to realize, yeah, you can cheer for him or want to see him do well, but guess what? You're not going to see him do anything until 2026 season, because there's a good chance he's not even going to touch the field this year. So that's one of the reasons why I don't want to take him. You know, Jaden Daniels was a different beast. That kid was phenomenal in college. You knew what you were going to get with him. Washington knew what they were getting. We don't know what we're going to get with him, to be honest with you, based on what he played in college, competition-wise. But so more than likely, he's going to sit his first year. So you're not going to see him on the field until 2026. And again, that's why I don't want to take him at number 6.
Just some objectivity to that, though. We thought the same way about that with Derek Carr when he was in the door, 2014.
Derek Carr was a 4th-round pick.
No, he wasn't. He was a second-round pick. He was a second-rounder.
I thought he was 4th. Wasn't he 4th?
No, he was a second. He was a second.
Even still, second-round pick, I have some leniency. But when you're picking number 6 overall and you're taking a guy that you don't know what you're getting, when I could get a guy like a Mason Graham that's going to come in and probably be an immediate starter, or Abdul Carter if he's there, you know, an offensive tackle or an offensive guard or whatever. You know, quarterback is not an easy position to pick up in the NFL and just stop being successful.
Right, but it's the point I was trying to make, that you're saying that we're not going to see, if we drafted Shedeur, we're not going to see him year 1. My point with bringing up us drafting Carr in round 2 was that was supposed to be the case with Carr. He was not supposed to start year 1, but you know he did. He outplayed who he should have had, who was supposed to be the starter, Matt Schaub. Remember, we brought Matt Schaub to be the starter.
Yeah,
and the rest was history. All I'm trying to say is that, like, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Like, it can happen again. You know, if you drafted Shedeur, like, don't assume that, like, you know, ideally, like, if we've got someone, a veteran who can hold it down for a while he develops, that would be the ideal scenario. Much like when the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre was still there. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's not outside the realm of possibility. If we did draft Shedeur, like, he could be the starter year 1, or whatever quarterback. Just it can happen. That's the point I was trying to bring up.
Yeah. So everybody's kind of saying the same thing here, that Dart had a great and he did. I thought he had a decent combine. The other quarterbacks that kind of stepped up, and Raider Pete just mentioned it here too. Brady Cook. He looked decent.
Brady Cook had a good
Max Brosma looked good. I'll tell you who looked like a complete ass, and Nate, you've already said this before last night, was
Dylan
Gabriel.
God,
he looked horrible.
So bad.
He looks so bad.
So bad.
And I don't know why people are still so hyped on Milroe. Yeah, I get it. He's athletic, but he has
a big arm.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
Great. But his
super inaccurate.
Yeah, his accuracy is not good, you know. So I mean, it's still this is still a weak quarterback class, no matter what. I mean, Ward's definitely the undisputed number 1 coming out of this,
right?
And then after that, I think it's a crapshoot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's definitely closer than all the rest of the guys are closer to each other than they are to Cam Ward. But I don't even think Cam Ward's that much higher. I think his potential is way higher than the rest of them, but his floor is not very high.
If these guys all came out in last year's draft, none of these guys would be first rounders. I'm sorry. Maybe Ward, first round. But the rest would all be second round and beyond. Way beyond. You know, they couldn't hold a candle to the guys that were in last year's draft in the first 10 picks. Absolutely not.
Just despite all that, like, let's swing. Let's at least try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it does, it's like I keep saying, if it doesn't work out, at least we tried. Something we haven't done with the quarterback position outside of what we drafted AOC in the 4th, 5th round. Mm-hmm. Derek Carr was 2014. Connor Cook was a 5th round guy, and Terrell Pryor, we gave up a 3rd round or 2nd round supplementary pick. And the last time we took a quarterback high was Jamarcus Russell. Like, that was 18 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time we try again. If it doesn't work out, okay, whatever, more of the same. At least we tried. But on the flip side of that, what if it works out? What if we find our guy?
If it works out, that's awesome.
Then that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be awesome, but it's never going to be awesome unless you try, right?
Yeah. Well, and my other big thing, and I said this last night on the Raider Connection, was we're on borrowed time here. You know, Pete Carroll's only got a guaranteed 3 years, fourth year team option. So if they really want him to turn this thing around in those 3 years and start improving to the point where we're being seriously considered as contenders, you know, he doesn't have a lot of time to sit here and groom a rookie quarterback to eventually potentially be the guy. That's why I said earlier tonight that we're in that win sooner than later or the win now mode. If we bring in the right pieces, you could see that going in that direction this season. You know, am I saying we're going to make the playoffs? It's possible. I'm not going to say no. Nobody expected the Redskins to make the playoffs last year. I know I didn't have them picked to make the playoffs. Did you? I never saw them making the playoffs. Didn't. You did?
I said I did not.
Oh, all right. I was going to say, I need to listen to you more because we're going to make some money. You know, nobody saw that one coming. You know, so it's like, can it happen? Oh, absolutely. You know, any given Sunday, anybody can win. I mean, there were games that we lost this year by a few points that we should have won. If we had different people in the game, things would have been different. Like Christian Wilkins, when we played the Chiefs, if he was there for that game, we probably would have won that game. Yep. You know, if our field goal kicker didn't miss 3 kicks against Kansas City, we would have won that game.
Well, that's because you jinxed him.
Yeah, that was totally my fault because prior to I had hyped the shit out of our kickers, saying that they're the best group of kickers in the NFL, and then he goes out and misses 3 field goals 3 days later. I'm like, well, that's it. I'm not talking about kickers anymore. Right. Fucking jinxed it.
But that can't be the full stop to like that performance was a bad performance by Carlson.
Yeah,
for the most part, he's been money man Carlson.
No, so, exactly, for sure.
But the next show I came in with a paper bag over my head because I didn't want to show my face. I was so embarrassed.
Just on a side note, I will. I know you're doing that out of jokingly, but I will never put on a paper bag as a Raider fan. Never, no matter what.
Word.
Wow, mood killer. I did it just to be funny because
I know. That's why I said I know you were doing it out of.
I blacked the camera out, and then Leo's like, "Where's Jeff? His camera's black." And then I just popped that on, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was just to be like the comic relief for that one because I was so embarrassed. Let's see. Yeah, and you're right, Chris. It does stop all those rumors with the possibility. Doesn't mean we can't trade them though. We could still trade them away. They're not the saying we can't. I mean, you want some extra first-round picks. In another week, he won't be the highest paid, so it'll look like a fucking deal.
Yep.
He'll be the lowest paid defensive end in the top 5.
Manziel was in that same draft class.
What's up, SoCal?
Oh, man, I was such a huge Johnny Manziel fan. Such a huge...
For me, that draft was I wanted Khalil. I've gone on record to say like how excited I was when we made the pick and why. But there was a part of me that low key, just being honest, wanted Manziel and that box office factor, and I'm glad that we didn't go that route.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very glad.
See, Pigs agrees. Rodgers makes the most sense. Use the late pick on a QB. Yeah. Is there any other QBs we could potentially trade for? Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different quarterbacks out there, but they're all pretty much garbage, really. I mean, like I said, the free agent market this year is not the best. And I looked ahead to next year's. Man, ain't much better comes next year either.
Well, he's saying like any under the radar quarterbacks that would probably be willing to that teams would be willing to let go in a trade, or like their situation is like they don't need the quarterback. I've been thinking about this actually a lot, and I've been wanting to look around the league to see contract situations and obviously team situations because I think there's a possibility that the Raiders do something under the radar for somebody. Obviously, it's just like kind of a thought. I don't think that's like super plausible, but I've been thinking about it a lot.
I see one potential move that we could make, and it would be unloading one of our quarterbacks and possibly getting the other team's quarterback.
Who's that?
It's the coach that actually drafted said quarterback to our team.
Russell Wilson.
Not our current coach.
The Patriots
Mm-hmm.
for Milton for Milton.
Mac Jones?
Mm-mm.
Milton.
No, Mac Jones is
Milton
in
for
Jacksonville.
AOC.
Actually, he's a free agent, I think now. AOC 12 to New England for Milton.
There's no point, I don't think, because
that's
they have
well,
Drake
I know
May.
they've got Drake May, but don't forget this is Josh McDaniels we're talking about. He drafted O'Connell for a reason.
He's not the shot caller though. That's Vrabel.
Doesn't matter if Vrabel brought him there for a reason. He brought him there because let's face it, McDaniels is a horrible head coach, absolutely horrible head coach. But I will give him his credit as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
he's not the best, but he's good. He's definitely good at that position. I will give him that. Horrible leader of a team, horrible, and he's proved it twice already. He ain't getting a third shot anyway.
Is he though? Is he really that good of an offensive coordinator that people make him out to be?
He's good. No, he's good.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's good.
He? I just said he's not the best, but he's good. He'll do okay. Just here as the head coach and trying to do that same position, that's too much. That was too much for him because he's not a leader of men, and he proved it. He proved it in Denver, and he proved it here again, which is why I was so adamant about not getting him as our head coach when we hired him. That was just a bad move. But again,
I've never heard a former player speak highly of McDaniels. No,
they never will. They never will. And the only reason they don't say anything was because Bill Belichick was there. That's what his saving grace was.
Mm-hmm.
Is that no one said shit when Bill Belichick was in the height of the whole Patriots regime during that time frame. Nobody said anything over there because he didn't tolerate it. He'd throw your ass out. He don't care. You want more money? No, go find it somewhere else. People went to them for less money half the time because they knew they had a 80 to 90% chance of winning a Super Bowl. That's why they were able to retain some of these players on such a cheap price.
Yep.
That's why Brady took contract or team-friendly contracts every year or renegotiated constantly. He never
Brady
played
didn't
a full
need the
contract.
Money. Brady didn't need the money.
At the time, he definitely didn't because his wife at the time made more money than he did.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need a fucking. He could have played
and all his business ventures like Brady.
Yeah, but that was even before he did all the endorsements and business ventures. His wife is worth fucking millions from the modeling career. She was worth big fucking money. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that could be something that happens where we unload AOC and we get Milton. Who knows? It's possible.
I don't think so.
Did I see?
I mean,
Jay. There's Jay. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, I seen Jay.
Jay?
It was like 10 minutes ago. I'm way behind. Jeff wants his bag of Skittles from Maxx. Nah. I don't like Skittles. They rot your teeth.
So they're too good, is what you're saying.
Jameson Winston is available. No, thank you. Geno Smith is probably the one QB that could be available potentially.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't think I would want him, but I can definitely see that.
I don't really either. So Randy says, fat chance Milton is a good QB, not fair for only AOC.
Like a 1-to-1 trade is not fair.
And Milton's not going to start in New England. They're going to stick with Drake May.
Yeah, and AOC is not going to start either. But that's
Milton's going to sit there and do nothing.
That's why I don't think they trade him, because Milton is a better quarterback, or potentially better quarterback than AOC. And so I would rather have the. That's what I'm saying. They would rather have the potentially higher guy to sit already behind the future rather than AOC.
Okay, so send him Michael Mayer and Samir White. There we go. Swish.
There you go. They need a running back. They need a center.
Samir White. They
need a tight end.
Great.
They do need an offensive lineman. We can send him.
And you guys are very familiar with Gronkowski, or his baby Gronkowski. Like so many of these cats on the YouTube scene, we're crowning this guy. Huh.
I've seen those. I definitely seen those.
Baby Gronk. That was funny. Let's see. As an OC, McDaniels probably calls a better offense than Greg Roman, I think. See, you got to remember, living in New England, I had to deal with listening to and watching the Patriots all the time because they were always on TV around here. So I saw firsthand how good that offense was with McDaniels, being the coordinator, and how much it dropped when he left. Because when he would leave and they replaced someone else or put someone else in there as the offensive coordinator, they weren't that great. It's just, I think a lot of it definitely was the chemistry that he had with Brady, though, because him and Brady, I mean, the two of them combined, I'm sorry, as much as I hate to say it, but they were pretty lethal here in New England, unfortunately. I've lived through that for almost 20 years. Brutal. That's why I can't stand Brady. He wins me a Super Bowl, all's forgotten. If he comes in and puts the team together and wins us a Super Bowl, then he's my new best friend. Until then, still not going to like him. Still doesn't mean I wouldn't pop him in the face if he walked in my room.
He's the GOAT, bro.
The whole team. The fans, too. You want to talk about arrogant fans? Oh, my God. When they were winning Super Bowls, fucking brutal. So that was the last banner I had on there.
Yep.
So we're coming up to almost 2 hours. It's been a good show.
Oh, yeah.
So far. Love having AR with us. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's why when you hit me up, I was like, let me ask Nate. I'm sure he's going to say yes anyway. So
I got time today, so yeah.
That's good. Good. Yeah, whenever you got time like that, man, hit me up and, hit myself.
Sure. Like, I know that this show's usually just a duo show for you and, LV.
But lately we've been.
I said, like, if you have guests, I'm happy to come on. But, like, I understand sometimes
we're always
you just want
open
to keep it as. Yeah, but sometimes, like, and I do this with my own channel, like, you just want to keep things just, like, say, I have a show with my guy on Six and Raider Joe, and it's just, like, I appreciate, and there's guys I'd like to kick it with, but we just keep it between just those shows strictly for us, and then other times we have, like, guests on, so that's why I said, like, if you're having a guest, I'm happy to come on, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, dude.
No,
like you said, anytime, bro, honestly.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks we had Rundown on with us last Thursday. The week before we had Leo on, and pretty much the reason we pulled Leo in was because he didn't make the Raider Connection game show that the night before because he had something going on. So I asked him, I said, you want to come on with us, seeing as though you weren't on last night? And he goes, hell yeah. So he jumped on. And I am beautiful. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm sure she's probably talking about AR.
Yeah, that's what that was my assumption. That was my assumption.
I mean, probably not for nothing. I mean, the mustache can be pretty sexy, so
true.
Can't help it.
Hey, you get slapped, my guy. What's going on?
You get slapped. What's up?
What's up, man? What's up?
Yeah, so we're always open to guests. We don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
It makes it more fun too, in a way. I don't have to stare at his ass for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Sholo Man asked me a question about like the cyclone. I'm in Australia, my friend. That's the east coast of Australia, in the I think it's the Gold Coast or Brisbane. That's east coast. I'm on the west coast, so we don't have one here. And yeah, so
the cyclone's on the other side.
It's on the other side, and I'm seeing a lot of videos of like some of the locals over there not really taking it seriously. Australians being Australians, but. Yeah, hopefully, like they all get through it. Okay, in all seriousness.
Well, that's like the people that don't leave an area before someone, before a massive flood's coming or a tsunami, or like in LA when the fires were coming, they were telling people to get out and people weren't, and the next the death toll rises because people just are stubborn. It's like, just get the fuck out! Why are you fucking around?
Yeah. Well, I was seeing videos of people like
firefighter and I
laying
wouldn't
out
want to be in the middle of that
in the rain and surfing and all that. So, yeah. Hopefully,
the surfers are crazy because they're like, oh, this is the prime time to go out there and surf. You're fucking nuts. No shit. Fuck that. Like one of those 100-year storms. Let's go out and go surfing. The waves are 100 feet. No.
Although, if you had the skill to do that, like that would be pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely not me. Hell no.
I'm scared of the ocean.
So, if anybody's in the channel that's not familiar with the other stuff that Afakasi does, is he live streams Tecmo Bowl, NFL Blitz. Sometimes he'll go on and he'll play against the computer, or most of the times he goes on there and he's playing against Rate of Critique.
Okay, Rate of Critique, yeah.
Yeah, the two of them playing it's a sight to watch because they're funny as hell together. I just love getting in the chat and just busting their balls because it's fun to watch them and their interaction with each other. So go ahead and plug in.
That's why we do this
coming up.
That's why we do this for. Like, I mean, if you want people to watch you on the YouTube, you've got to bring some form of entertainment value. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be a reason why. Otherwise, like, you could be like Dustin from Death Star Report, who rants to nobody, like literally nobody. Nobody wants to hear his bullshit, right? So you got to bring something to the table, and that's what me and Critique we try to bring. Like, you know, we bounce off each other well. We talk a lot of trash. Like, we're not the best Tecmo Super Bowl players. Like, if that's what you want to see, you can go to other channels. But if you want two guys who bounce off each other, to trash talk, keep it respectful, and we try to make it funny. You know what I mean? So.
You've pretty much got an empty jar of Vegemite that proves otherwise. That Critique is better.
Right. But you know, I do that. We're going to be doing another Tecmo stream, likely Sunday, but maybe Saturday morning, 7 Pacific, 9 Central, and 10 Eastern, and that's in the morning. So if you want something fun to watch, get your breakfast and come kick it with us Sunday morning, your time. And I don't go by Australian time. I always give my content out to US time because
it's like 10 in the morning my time.
Right.
Usually about the time I wake up, I look and I'm like, oh, he's on good. And then I'll watch
my audience is for the most part American, so I cater to that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But also like my bread and butter has always, for the most part, for the last 4 years, has been Raider content. Like, I just haven't done so much of late, like doing my Raider live shows, being that like not really much has been shaking. Like, there's a lot of rumorville stuff that like I like to talk about, like going on other people's panels, but in terms of doing my own lives, I've kind of taken that I'm going to sit back approach. I'm going to do other stuff, other ventures, and then once free agency has passed, then I'll get back on the active scene. Once the draft has come to a conclusion, I will get active again. And then when we're in season mode, then I start making Raider specific content week in, week out. So yeah, until then it's the other stuff. And like it's been really humbling, like with the game streams, like it's taken my channel's viewership like to heights that I didn't think was going to be possible. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I do appreciate all the support and the love that has been shown via that venture. But you know, I'm still Raiders first and foremost. Like, I will get active again when it comes to my own channel. But you know, you still see me. Like, I've been kicking on a lot of panels, like Jeff down below, and LV Raider Nathan. You know what I'm saying? So
I love having you on.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
I love it. Even when I do my pop-up shows in the middle of the day or whatever, if you're on, I usually send you a message because usually your time frame kind of lines up. Sometimes when I do that, because everybody else,
I'm a night owl, so sometimes I'm up late at night, or like times like right now where I finished running my errands and doing my daily stuff. But just in regards to that comment there by Raider Pete, I'm going to do what I did last season, which actually worked out for me. Is that if you're looking for live reactions, and Jeff's probably going to do one himself, every content creator is going to be live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me personally, it's another case of I'm just going to sit back because a lot of my audience are going to be here, there, or wherever, and not on my side of the fence. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So what I did last year was I had a panel of guys. We sat back and watched it live backstage, not recording live, and we waited for our pick, and then we hit the record button, and then I uploaded the live reaction later, which actually got a lot of views. You know what I'm saying? Like people didn't have to go back and filter through other people's lives. Like, oh, where's the timestamp? Where did they react to our pick specifically? Because all these other picks, I don't care about. I don't care about these other teams. I'm not going to sit there on a panel and react to the teams that aren't the Raiders. I only want to react to the Raiders specifically. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for our pick, then hit the record button and upload later for the world to see.
Yeah, I definitely do. Well, one of the main reasons I'm going to be going live I'm going to do it for every day of the draft. is because a lot of the other guys are going to be at the draft. Like I know Leo's going there. I think Chris is going. I'm not sure if 805's going or not, but I mean, a lot of the guys, I'm sure Rundown's not going because of the baby now.
Right.
But I'm sure he'll jump on with me. Turf will probably be on too. So
I do have a suggestion and a tip as well, and this is what help sync me and my guys all to react at the same time. What I did was I played the play. I told everybody to shut off what they're watching, and I played the play call through the microphone. So we all reacted together. Because if you notice when you watch people who have like 6 people, 10 people, whatever, 3 people
everybody's
panels,
on different times.
Everybody's stream is on different times. So they're all reacting out of sync. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to react at the same time and an easy way to sync it up, do what I did. Play the play call through the phone in the microphone. That way everybody can react together. Otherwise,
sense.
You know, you see, like I said, I've seen just about every single live panel. They're all reacting out of sync and spoiling the pick for other people who are still looking at their TV screen. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like that during game watch parties, because I'll be like watching something and then like we'll score a touchdown and I'll go, yeah. And then someone else in the channel will be like, what happened? And then it catches up like 10 seconds later. They're like, oh, we scored. And I'm like, yeah, that was 10 seconds ago. No. Yeah, no,
I'll share one thing that happened that I shook my head. I was actually really annoyed for one of my friends. He went to the draft live and he was on he was part of a 4-man crew that were waiting for the pick to be announced, and somebody that was there went on Twitter and then yelled it out live, like, we just picked this guy, instead of them waiting for the pick to react. And like, he was like, you know, it was the Tyree Wilson pick. You know what I mean? And I could see the disdain. I'm not going to name names, but like, he's still my guy, but I could see the disdain on his face. Like, why did you do that? You know what I mean? Like, so just to my point, don't be that guy. You know what I mean? Let everybody react to it at their own time, rather than be that guy who goes on Twitter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, reaction video. Yeah, definitely Raider Pete. Yeah, we'll all be on the stream together if we're on. Like, I don't, Nate, are you going to be around for that more than likely?
Most likely, yeah.
It's prime time, the first pick, the first round. So, and we pick early unless we trade.
Right.
So it'll be fairly soon in the night, which would be good. And then after that, people can do what they want. If they want to stick around, they can stick around. I don't care. But yeah, we'll all be just like this. There could be 4 of us. There could be 2 of us. There could be. I can have up to 10 people in here. So. But I will tell you this though. When it comes close to our pick, we're going to tell everybody to shut up.
No, for sure.
So, I don't want anybody.
Shut up. No spoilers. And turn your, like. See how right now we've got the private chat and comments on the right side of the screen. Put that to private so you don't get like a whole bunch of comments that may spoil it.
Yeah,
that's another
exactly.
You know.
Yeah, that
like because I've been through this rodeo for a few years, so I kind of know like some of the things that like you need to watch out for and make the experience a little bit better as to not have it spoiled for you. You know, because it's like this is like Christmas time. I don't know about you guys, but for me, the draft is like my Christmas, my birthday, better than those. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a gift that you don't know what it is and you're excited for. It could be really great and make you happy. Like I uploaded a video. One of my first videos doing rated content was I reacted live to the Amari Cooper pick. And you can see I was fist pumping in the air. I was carrying on. Like I was super happy with that. And then there's other times like the Alex Leatherwood pick. Like I reacted to that one live too. And yeah, you can see I was not impressed, to say the least. But it's part of the experience. Like you don't know what you're gonna get. It could make you really happy, or it could make you upset, or it could be like a huh. We'll see.
Yeah, rated Pete. The mute button and pause button is a blessing on draft day and game day. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah,
right. But on panels, there is no way to like pause anyone or whatnot. Like, you know, you could put somebody on mute or whatever, You know what I'm saying? But then you won't hear their reaction and all that. Like that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I did it the way I did it, just to make sure that everybody's in sync at the same time, just to hear the call all together. Holy emu. What the hell? That's on my side of the fence. Oh my God, the Seahawks just shot themselves, quickly plunder their corpse. Lamar needs a wide receiver. I've seen him on my game stream.
That's fucking funny.
He's a Seahawks fan.
What do you think the Raiders will get out of all these shakeups? Who knows at this point? You know, I mean, we're not fully going to know till next week when free agency officially opens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some want us. Some are in favor of trading for certain players. Some are in favor of bringing in certain free agents. It all depends on what show you watch, what time of the day, and what they've had to drink that day, what they'll say. Or what they've been smoking. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I mean, you watch some of these channels and you watch them and go, what the fuck are they talking about? Why would you watch that?
Death Star Report.
Yeah, exactly. And then other times you'll see them suggest somebody and go, oh, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. And it's not that one that he just named. Usually that's the complete opposite. You know, some people just don't put a thought process to it. Just like the people that I had a few months ago or a month ago talking about, we should have traded for Jaden Daniels last year. Could you imagine him throwing the ball to Brock Bowers? And I'm like, hey, dumb. We wouldn't have Brock Bowers if we would have gotten Jaden Daniels. We wouldn't have JPJ, and we probably wouldn't have had Glaze either, because we probably wouldn't have had a single draft pick in that draft except for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
So think about what you just said. We ain't going to have any of those players that had an impact this year. So it wouldn't be beautiful watching him throw to Brock Bowers, because it wouldn't happen. There's no way. No fucking way. Some people just don't think sometimes. They talk out their ass. And Leo said it best last night. If we stop winning and the team's good and there's no drama involved and, you know, all the clickbait shit goes away, now you're going to see who's the true fans of this team, or football in general. Who knows what football's about, and who's just making up shit to get clicks. Because you probably will see some streamers fall by the wayside that, you know, without clickbait, they ain't got nothing, you know.
Well, last season was a very testing time, being that, like, look, we lost more than not, and that is when it really tests the mantle of, like, trying to stay consistent as a Raider content creator, if you want to call it that. Like, it's all easy and great making Raider content when we're winning, but it's when we're losing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's when we're not in the mood to really talk about Raider football, but we're still going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, we're still in the trenches doing that thing.
When we were losing last year, you can ask Nate. That's how I felt during the season. It was like every week I felt like we were just rinsing and repeating the same thing, right? Because there was no improvement. The team was always offensive line shitty, running back shitty, quarterback plays horrible, defense looks good, you know. So it was like that same thing every week. You really didn't change up. And then when we won one, oh, okay, now that adds a different element to it for this week. But then the next week or the next few weeks, you're losing again. And you're right back to that same, just change the name of the team that we played against, flip out a couple of different players, and we're saying the same thing. You know, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of cuts coming. Yeah, a lot of teams are going to be cutting a lot of players. So
a lot of players will be re-signed and a lot of players will be made available. That's why I usually don't pay attention
free agent market's going to kick it up.
Like, what free agent do you want to sign, or what free agent do you think is going to sign with the Raiders? It's like, well, just wait and see. Anyways, I'm going to get going because I'm going to have a mini nap before my nieces come around in the evening. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
What do you got going on this weekend? Just let everybody know.
We're going to be doing a live stream between me and my guy. Shout out to Raider Critique. Likely Sunday, but it may be Saturday morning your time. So 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, and 7 a.m. Pacific. I got that right? That's the time difference between you guys? Okay, cool. Yeah. If you want to grab your breakfast and come kick it on my side of the fence, we're doing a Tecmo Bowl. Super Bowl stream where me and my guy
we
get pretty passionate, we get pretty competitive, but it's all fun. And
it's fun.
Usually we have some wager on the line. Like the last time, the loser, me, of the best of 5 series had to on stream. I had to sing a song of the winner's choosing, which was the American national anthem, which made it even funnier because I'm Australian, right? And I had to do it while after I ate a whole spoonful of Vegemite to make the content even more funny. So if you want some entertainment, come kick it on my side of the fence.
You open it up, you start dry heaving like.
Dude, it is that bad. And anybody who has tried Vegemite before, especially on the American side of the fence, will back me up, and like it's just as bad, every bit as bad, if not worse, than you could possibly imagine. It's disgusting. But that's what I got going on my side of the fence. But it's all about you guys. Anybody who's on my side, if you haven't already, if you can subscribe to my guys, like most of the people, they're there already. But if you're not, if you just type in NE space Raider Boosters in the YouTube search bar, as well as, or even you don't have to put an underscore. I put just NE space Raider Boosters, and I found you.
Yeah, it'll pop up.
Initially, I didn't because you weren't so much through the algorithm. But now that you've been through the algorithm a bit more since the first time I met you, it is that easy to find you. As well as LV Raider 10. If you just put that into the search bar, you should be able to find my guy, Las Vegas Raider Nathan.
Nice.
But anyways, I'm out.
If you're around tomorrow night, we're doing the Friday night pull-up show tomorrow night. So if you're around,
I have cricket to play then, so that's the one day I'm not there.
I'll probably be on late anyway. So,
but I appreciate the offer. I'll try and check you out on the drive there. But anyways, salute to everybody in the chat, and you guys, always a pleasure. I usually end this my own streams this way, but I'm going to do it this time on your live stream. So, Raider Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie. You know what time it is. It's Raider Nation till we what, gang?
Die, baby.
Till we die. There we go. And Jeff, you left me hanging once again.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you next time.
My bad.
Come on, dog.
My bad.
All right, gang. Peace. I'll catch you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
I love having him on. He's so much fun, man.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll just bang through the chat here if there's anything I missed. Oh, Emu, if you need a quarterback, yours. I don't know. Let's see. Or if you want to do poorly, drop next. No. I can't go through another year of purposely losing games. No. Yeah, I guess we'll call it a night. You got anything? You doing any gaming stuff recently or whatever?
No, I'm still got my stuff to figure out. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, just make sure to like, subscribe, check us out on Wednesdays. Wednesday is going to be huge because we got a new intro, so that's going to be super nice. Make sure to pop in for that. Make sure you get in early, and yeah, and then obviously Thursday next week as well. We're going to be right here back again, Raiders Coast to Coast.
Yeah, don't leave yet until we sign off, because you'll see our new intro outro that's going to be played as soon as we sign off here.
Yep.
But just heads up on what's going on this weekend. Tomorrow night, going to have the Friday night live show, starting at 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific time. Come on in anytime. I'll be on late. Nate's usually in there with me. Jay from Just Raiders Baby pops in. Leo's usually there. Chris for Raiders pops in. Rundown was usually, did I already say Rundown? Rundown's usually there. It's normally Turf's and Rundown show on Friday night, but with Turf traveling for his daughter doing gymnastics, he's not around on the weekends right now. But he will be back at some point. So I've already told him, I said, I'm just keeping the seat warm, just giving a place for people to come on Friday nights until he's back at his normal routine. But starting this weekend, I'm going to start doing a Saturday night pull-up show.
Oh, nice.
Because it's a time slot that nobody really uses. So I'm going to go on live every Saturday night, unless something else comes up that I can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
But starting at probably same time, 9:00 on Saturday, Eastern time, and go until the cows come home Sunday morning, or as long as I can last. So we're gonna do a Saturday night show from here on out too, starting tomorrow night.
Dope.
So, and then like Nate said, check us out Wednesday nights for the Raider Connection. Thursday nights right back here at Raiders Coast to Coast. And keep the notifications on because a lot of times I'll pop on live during the day. Especially if with the free agency coming next week, keep it on the notifications because I'm home all the time. Rundowns around a lot. So either one of us are going to be popping on live just out of nowhere. Nate, unfortunately, because he's going to work all day, so he doesn't have that luxury of being able to do that. So, but still put the notification on for him too, though.
Yep.
So we appreciate everybody following us, and it's been a fun ride so far. You know, we started week 3.
I think so.
Week 3 of the season. So you can see how it's grown already in that time frame with the regulars that show up every week, you know, and just the following that we're getting, and we really appreciate everybody. And I don't know, I got nothing else. You got nothing else to add?
Yep, no, that's it.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. Stay safe and go Raiders.